بفاميلي مثل ما كنت عم خبر زميلي أمين، اليوم موضوعنا عن اضطرابات الطعام. رح نجرب نفوت شوي بتفاصيل هالموضوع أنا ودكتور جيرمي ألفورد، معالج نفسي ورئيس جمعية ميدا للاهتمام بهالموضوع بالذات. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
We are talking about eating disorder. And I know there is many types of eating disorders.
Yes.
Can you first of all define it for us?
So, an eating disorder is characterized by an abnormal eating habit that usually involves insufficient or excessive food at the detriment and the cost of a person's physical and mental health. As you said, there are many types, and the most commonly known ones are anorexia or bulimia. If people know a little bit about anorexia, I mean, anorexia is when a person is going to restrict themselves from eating, and they have an excessive preoccupation over their weight and weight gain, more specifically. It is the deadliest of all mental health disorders.
It's the most, everybody knows anorexia, but I think there's other types that people don't
know too much, exactly.
Okay, I'm going to try to explain a little bit for the viewers.
Yes.
لكن رح نحكي اليوم أكثر شيء عن الأنوركسيا، عن البوليميا، وهن المواضيع يلي شائعين باضطرابات الطعام. عم نحكي هون عن الناس اللي بتمتنع عن الطعام كليا لحتى ما تزيد وزن، أو عن العالم اللي بياكلوا كتير بيكون من جراء طبعا مشاكل نفسية. Doctor, how to prevent this and why does it happen?
Well, there are many causes, many reasons. There isn't just one thing that happens. So it can be because of the start of a person's wanting to lose weight. It can begin with a diet, so very simply. It could also happen because of criticisms being made over a person's appearance and how they should look like, or so there are many different pressures around, social pressures, maybe cultural pressures that might be affecting a person, as well as maybe physical explanations as well, like genetics also are a big factor as well in this.
So this could be only for a small period of time? Or it has
well,
to
look,
be
it really depends on the type of eating disorder, because as you said earlier, there are many types, okay? And so there are types that I've not mentioned here, such as things like orthorexia. It's a very big word, but it actually means an obsessive preoccupation over eating healthy type foods that a person considers as being healthy. Orthorexia.
Orthorexia,
exactly.
Okay.
Which also can lead a person into developing another type of eating disorder like anorexia or even bulimia. All of these disorders can actually come together and overlap each other in many ways.
We're going to talk about each kind, each type of eating disorder. I'm going to translate.
Yes.
لكن الأسباب ممكن تكون ضغط نفسي، شوية ستريس، أو ممكن تكون أسباب جينية وهي بالوراثة، يمكن أنه تسبب هالموضوع عند أشخاص معينين. In which age does it start?
So an eating disorder can really start at any given age, but it can start as early as sometimes 8 years old when we're talking about cases of anorexia. It can even start generally between the ages of 12 and 25. And it can be a disorder that can last a lifetime. There's also about 20% of people that who are left untreated in most severe cases who can die from complications of eating disorders, whether it's a bulimic, whether it's a binge eaters, so excessive overeaters, because of lots of other disorders that they can develop health-wise, such as high blood pressure, heart arrest, and many other complications, exactly, not just anorexia.
But how does it start at age of 8?
Yes. Again, it all depends on the family household, what's going on inside, how much a mother or a father is being critical about the appearance of their child, and how they might suddenly maybe panic over the fact that their daughter or even son, in that case, is maybe eating too much or excessively. We forget that our children are growing at that age, and sometimes we over-panic more than we actually need to, and that can also cause these kind of issues.
So parents parents are mainly involved.
Parents are involved in a big degree, absolutely, in maintaining, in developing, or even maintaining a disorder. They might have a disorder themselves without knowing it. They might be over-exercisers or very over-preoccupied by their physical appearance. So it's something that's so sensitive.
It's indirect.
It's indirect, exactly, that people are, when we're not aware of all of these things, then we can fall into that trap, and then not know how to handle our child who's going through these phases.
Yeah, and we cannot see it. Maybe we think it's normal.
Exactly.
Because we are living that way.
Because we're talking about a psychological problem, meaning that it's in the mind, it's in the perceptions, it's in the way that they're dealing with their emotions. It becomes their quick fix solution and way of dealing with their feelings that are expressed or unexpressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's translate.
Yes.
لكن الأهل طبعاً عندهم دور كبير بهالموضوع، تحديداً لما بتبلش هالمشاكل على عمر صغير، أي ممكن تبلش عن عمر 8 سنين أو 12 سنة، وبهالحالة يمكن الأهل ما يكونوا منتبهين على هالموضوع، إنما عم يعطوا ملاحظات شوي سلبية عن وزن ولدهم أو عن قلة التمارين الرياضية، أو يمكن هن بطريقة غير مباشرة عم ينتبهوا بطريقة بالفعل مبالغة على وزنهم أو على تمريناتهم، وهيدي الشغلة بتأثر بشكل مباشر على الأطفال اللي ممكن هن يبلشوا يتصرفوا بهالحالة، والأهل ما بينتبهوا بما أنه هن عايشين هيك، إنما الولد بحاجة لتغذية أكتر لحتى يقدر ينمو ويتطور. Doctor, how can we prevent?
Well, it's about, first of all, being informed, and for parents to be informed, and for the general public to be informed about, if food is there's this saying, that we eat, we don't eat to live, we live to eat, or it's the other way around. It's meaning that we need to be more aware about our emotions and what we tell our children, how sensitive we have to be about the kind of words we might use, focusing more about the inner self, the inner being, showing love, showing caring, compassion in a non-judgmental way without focusing too much on appearances. This is really the
Doctor,
important
bulimia
thing.
is eating too much. When is it about vomiting food or eating and rejecting again?
This is called bulimia. Bulimia is when we are actually eating excessive amounts, sometimes in a very short space of time, and then self-inducing vomiting. This is a cycle that can be very difficult to get oneself out of by themselves alone.
And the bulimic can be thin, or he's always fat?
Over time, we know that a bulimic can actually gain weight because of their metabolism that they're affecting through the continuous binge purge cycle. So in the long term, the person gains weight as opposed to loses the weight.
Okay, and we can stop this?
Yes, it can be stopped with the proper treatment.
Okay.
And the proper treatment will involve the psychological treatment with a qualified expert in the field, in addition to a qualified nutritionist who really has the good skills and qualifications and knowledge about eating disorders specifically. So, as well as other medical doctors as well, which might include a psychiatrist, it might include a general family doctor, it might include other aspects as well.
So we could need some medicine.
Yes, I mean,
sometimes.
Endocrinologist might be involved and medicine might be involved. But the heart of the problem is emotional and psychological, so really it's the psychological input that is that's the most important in this treatment.
لكن الموضوع هو طبعا شوية نقص بالاهتمام. الأهل لازم يكونوا منتبهين على هالموضوع ويهتموا بداخل الولد أكثر من ما يهتموا بالشكل الخارجي. وطبعا إذا زادت الأمور عن حدها ممكن نشوفها، يعني طبعا تحديدا عند اللي عنده بوليميا، بما أنه رح ينصح، رح يزيد وزنه بشكل سريع، وطبعا رح يصير في عنده مشاكل صحية إن كان اللي عنده بوليميا أو اللي عنده أنوركسيا. فهون الأهل لازم ينتبهوا على الموضوع، وممكن يتاخد طبعا عند معالج نفسي أو حتى عند طبيب نفسي إذا احتاج لبعض الأدوية لحتى ما تضطر أو ما تنضر صحته. أكيد. Doctor, how can we see it? I'm a mom, and my daughter or my son actually is male or female, women or men can have
Yes, yes.
eating disorders.
Yes, it's just for all genders. So
Okay.
basically, it's male and females can have eating disorders.
But frequently we see women.
Well, when we're talking about anorexia specifically, it might be more frequent in women than it is in men. I mean, there's about 10 to 15% of population of men who are developing eating disorders. We think that there might be even more than that. But then men have let's say it's more difficult. It's more difficult for them to come and seek help and acknowledge it.
But we never saw a man dying from.
It does happen, actually.
Really?
Yes, it does happen.
Okay.
It does happen.
But how can we see
Unfortunately,
it?
we don't have statistics here in Lebanon or in the region, so we base most of our statistics on the US and what's happening in Europe and in those countries.
Okay.
So your question
Yes, I'm a mom.
Yes.
I see, or I don't see, that my daughter or my son is having eating disorders.
Yes.
How can I see? What are the signs?
Yes. So you begin
Or
to
maybe my husband, my wife.
Yes, yeah. You begin to notice signs in their behavior. The behavior of the child begins to change. You might notice that they're avoiding eating maybe in front of you. They might act a bit strangely around food. You might catch them maybe hiding some food maybe in their room. You might notice weight loss or
Okay.
maybe even weight gain in the other case. You might notice other signs physiologically. Maybe the person is being pale or looking quite sick. That's in cases maybe of bulimia. Okay. Or you're seeing them going to the bathroom a lot. These are a few little signs.
And anorexic also can reject food?
Yes, as well. You've got a type of anorexia, which is the purging type. So they might engage in eating and then purging, but you also have the other type, which is the restrictive type, where they just go on strike and then they don't eat anything at all.
And they don't say anything? Any word to make us...
Usually they don't, no. So you really notice it from the outside. And usually you will also notice that their behavior at home or towards you will begin to change. They might maybe withdraw, they might not be as expressive, they might not be talking anymore, they might not be performing so well, maybe in school. People might be worried for them.
How about friends, their friends?
Their friends as well, they might notice these changes as well. They might notice all the signs that I've just mentioned there. And they might also be very worried if they care for their friend. So they might report, they might try to say something, you need to eat. They might make all these comments that in one way is out of concern, they might do it. But in effect, the person who's suffering from this might actually not respond in a positive way to all this, which might lead them to withdraw even more. Because they become very excessive. When we're talking about anorexia, they become very excessively preoccupied about weight gain and people's comments, and they have a negative self-image. So anything that's being said about their image and about how they look like,
and
it affects them even more.
It's called like a dysmorphia or something?
There's another type, exactly. It can lead to something called body dysmorphic disorder. This is something that's quite excessive in the sense that the person doesn't like parts of their body, and this could lead them to go and see professionals, plastic surgeons, to go through
it's
surgeries.
a bit related, no?
It
the
can be
anorexia
related.
and the dysmorphic disorder.
It can be. Well, they already have a negative body image. The body dysmorphia is a more severe level. Not everybody who has anorexia might have what we call BDD, so body dysmorphic disorder. Some might, some might not. But
اوكي
yeah.
اوكي
Yeah.
لكن الاهل ممكن يلاحظوا او حتى الاصحاب ممكن يلاحظوا من طريقه تصرف هالشخص اللي عنده او انوركسيا او بوليميا. ممكن يشوفوا انه وجهه اصفر، انه تعبان، انه عم يفوت كثير على الحمام لحتى يمكن يراجع الطعام اللي اكله، ما يعود يحكي كثير مع العالم، يضل منزوي بغرفته، كل شيء يقولوه ياخذه بطريقه سلبيه. انما ممكن هون الاصحاب يساعدوا بهالموضوع لحتى يخبروا الاهل انه في شيء مش كثير مزبوط عم بيصير، او حتى نظره هالشخص الشخص لجسمه اللي هي dysmorphic disorder بتصير بشعة، يعني بيصيروا حتى يجربوا يروحوا عند طبيب تجميلي لحتى يغيروا بشكل جسمهم، وبيصيروا يهتموا طبعا كتير بوزن جسمهم. Doctor, how can we convince this person, adult or teenager, to go see a specialist?
Well, this can be very tricky in severe cases. The resistance can be very high, but usually in people where the cases are not so severe, it becomes a little bit easier to actually bring them along. As a parent, you will take your child to...
If it's still in the beginning.
If it's still at the beginning, exactly. Otherwise, you also have a lot of adults who will initiate the process themselves. They will feel exhausted by the behavior. They will have problems. They will notice the consequences of what they've been suffering for a long time.
And they
decide to come and seek help. For those people who don't decide to seek help and who are resisting it, very difficult. It's very difficult. It's really about informing. It's maybe informing the parents, talking, and going through the process. You know, we talk about a recovery. You know, and recovery being a process. It's not something that is that happens from one day to the next.
And sometimes they go and they get back to their disorder.
Yeah, exactly.
After.
I mean, our relationship with food is a very complex one, more complex than we think. You know, we have biological reasons we need food because of survival, and that's a first complication. It's not like we can do without it. And the second component of our relationship to food is psychological, emotional. We're emotional beings. So this means that very quickly we develop an emotional relationship with food. We eat food for anxieties, for anger, maybe for boredom, maybe out of frustration, or the opposite, or we don't. So it's really about learning to eat for energy, for what the body needs, as opposed to eating emotionally.
Since we are
which is a process. It is a process.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And again, like I said, we're emotional beings, so we will always have some emotional relationship to food.
It could happen sometimes for a short period, but when
exactly. We eat because we enjoy eating, because we're having fun, we're having a good time. It's not only negative.
Yes.
But the
we
moment
don't have
we
to feel
eat,
guilt
exactly.
about that.
But the moment we eat emotionally, that's when weight issues, even for people who are just struggling with losing 1 kilo or 2 kilos, might also be affected.
Okay.
You know? All right.
لكن صعب شوي انه نقنع هالشخص انه يروح يتعالج، انما ممكن الاهل بطريقه او باخرى بنوع من التواصل الحديث المتكرر انه يقدروا ياخذوا هالشخص لحتى يتعالج. ممكن ايضا يرجع يعود لذات الديس اوردر، فلازم نكون منتبهين على هالموضوع. او الشخص البالغ ممكن هو من تلقاء نفسه يقرر انه يروح، انما لازم ننتبه ونفسر دائما لاولادنا انه الاكل هو لمتعه الاكل، ما لازم نحس حالنا مذنبين اذا اكلنا. Doctor, that's why you have the Media Association.
MIDA. Exactly.
MIDA Association.
MIDA stands for the Middle East Eating Disorder Association, and it's a non-profit organization. We are volunteer specialists who came together to raise awareness, to actually work on prevention, bringing together along all kinds of other professionals to join this organization, where we conduct research. We encourage research, not only in Lebanon but in the region.
It's new, it's recent.
It's relatively new, exactly. We are established since 2009. So we have specialists who are already here in Lebanon, but also in the UAE, in Dubai, and in Kuwait.
Okay.
What
kind of specialists do you
So we
need?
have psychologists, nutritionists can also become members to be part of this process.
Okay.
It can also be medical doctors from any field, from psychiatrists to endocrinologists to many different people.
How can people find you? Do you have a Facebook page?
There's a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/MIDA Association.
Middle East Eating Disorder.
Middle East Eating Disorder, or they can go on the website, which is mida.me. And we do other activities as well.
Jeremy Alford.
Thank you very much.
أنا رح أنتقل لعند تينا، ما رح لحق ترجم آخر بارت. تينا
صباحو.
صباحو.
صباح.
كيفك اليوم؟
كثير منيحة.
تينا شو عنا اليوم بوقت؟
اليوم في أكل طيب.
دايما شو هو اليوم بس؟
من وحي الحديث